Welcome to this tutorial on Adobe Lightroom Classic. In this tutorial, we are going to hop into the Develop module. The Develop module is where we are going to, hence the name, develop or edit our photos. This is especially important since we are shooting in RAW and our images are going to come in kind of flat and unsaturated or desaturated, and we are going to go in and correct the tonal range, the exposure, white balance, add some saturation, some vibrance. There's all kinds of stuff we can do under develop. A lot of those settings are going to be specific to a particular photo, but there are some things that we want to apply over and over again to all photos that come in. So let's do that first. I am in my 24 folder, so click on your assignment folder. =, 2 stars, so that you've narrowed it down to only your 2-star photos. And I'm just going to click the first one in my list here and D for develop. And with this one, I'm going to click reset just in case there's been anything done to it in the develop module. I know there hasn't, and you probably haven't either in case, but maybe you were messing around or something. So let's reset it. We want to reset it so it's back to a no adjustments in the develop module. As I said, there's all of these panels here, all of these things that we can do to edit or develop our photo, but there are a couple things that we're going to want on every photo. So I'm going to open up the basic panel, and by default, when you import a color photo into the Adobe Lightroom catalog, Adobe applies this Adobe color profile. It's a perfectly good profile, except we're shooting in RAW and I want you to have the flattest, most neutral image to start. And this Adobe color profile adds a little contrast and saturation. So we're going to switch it to a neutral profile. So over to the right is the profile gallery, or the profile browser, and it looks like 4 little squares. I'm going to click on that. And you can see there's several options here, including camera matching. So I'm going to toggle open camera matching. In the camera matching options, yours might look, the names might be something slightly different. Depends on the camera model. But there should be something that says neutral or something like that. So I'm going to click on neutral. And neutral is just going to take away a little bit of the contrast that the Adobe color profile adds by default. I'm going to close that. Then I'm going to scroll down to lens correction. I'm going to toggle that open. I'm going to click remove chromatic aberration, and I want to enable profile corrections. And as long as your camera and lens combination is in the Lightroom Classic database, it's going to find the make of your camera, the model of the camera lens, and apply a profile. And what this does, I'm going to turn it off. Look at the edges, right? Look at the edges of my photo. I'm going to turn it on. It fixes distortion and vignetting caused by certain camera lens combinations. So we always want that to be applied. Now, this isn't something with particular settings that we adjust, right? So we want these to go on to every photo as they come in, so we don't have to think about it. So we're going to come up to develop, the very top, set default settings. This dialog box is saying that it's going to set the default settings for the Canon EOS Rebel T6. That was the camera I took this photo for. So keep in mind, if you're using the school camera and a personal camera, you need to do this once on a photo that's taken from each camera, so it's set for the future. I'm going to update to current settings. Boom. Now, it doesn't apply that to any photos that have already been imported. It will only apply it to photos that are imported after the fact or after this point. But you'll notice I have some other 2-star photos down here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click on the last one in the film strip so they're all highlighted. Then I'm going to come over here to the right, and right where it says sync, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to check none, and we change treatment profile and lens correction. I want those synced across all these photos. Blue button to synchronize. Now we've set our default preset setting and we've applied it to existing 2-star photos. Now in the future, when you import photos from this camera, it will automatically apply that color profile and the lens correction without you having to do anything.